birthday, you gon' get laughed up. I can buy you that new Birkin, baby, act up. Or I can put you in that Benz, it don't matter. But that G-Wagon do fit you better. I just wanna see you, girl, do it on hands, girl. We can make it lit like a candle. Off-white shirt with the off-white.
What's up, my dear babies? It's your girl Candy, and today I'm back again with another freaking video. As you can tell by the title, your girl's gonna be doing a story time on how I found out I was pregnant. How I found out I was pregnant at 17. Okay, so I just want to say disclaimer, I'm not 17 no more, honey. I'm 18 and grown. Okay, my birthday just passed. I found out I was pregnant at 17, so yes, boom, there you go. Before I get to this video, I want y'all to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, and comment down below. Anyways, let's get into the juicy details and stuff like that. Let me put y'all up on the game, okay? Because I've been slacking. I've been gone for 6 months, and y'all probably wondering like, what's going on? It happened in December. Well, I was conceived. Is that? I got pregnant in December, okay? Well, I want to say, yeah, nah, I got pregnant like in November, like after my period. So yes. So I'm gonna tell y'all the backstory, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I was doing the stuff that I was doing, and yes, and how I was doing the stuff that I was doing. So I was sneaking to my boyfriend's house. Every time I had to go to work, be at work, or I was at work, I was sneaking to my boyfriend's house because my mama is like so strict. Like, baby, I can't go out nowhere, okay? And if I do gotta go somewhere, it gotta be with my sister. And at the time, my sister was in North Carolina, and it was just like, baby, listen, I have a whole job that's in McDonough. My boyfriend, he stayed in Eagles Landing. I'm going to my nigga house, okay? I'm going, whether you like it or not. Let me stop. But it's like, come on now. My job is McDonough. My niggas in Eagles Landing. Ain't nothing but an exit down. Like, come on now. I'm finna go to his house. If I can't ask you, I mean, if I ask you to go to his house, you're gonna be like, no. And yeah, but I feel like I couldn't come to my mama, and tell her certain things. Like, not even certain things. I couldn't come to my mama, period, and tell her stuff. So we just like, when I told her that I was pregnant, she was like, you could have come to me, you could have, asked me about such and such, and I would have told you. We could have put you on birth control, this and that, third. Yeah, I could have, but at the end of the day, how do you sit down with your mother and tell her this type of stuff? I was sneaking to his house when I had to be at work, sneaking to his house before I would have to go to work. Then it was before and when I leave work. Then it was during my job. Like, I would literally tell my manager, hey, not feeling too good, can I go home? Or if somebody got into a car accident, I gotta go. They be like, oh my god, yes, go handle that, go handle your business or whatever. So I'm gonna say, okay, boom, bye, gonna go to my nigga house. So I would leave work and I would go to his house or whatever. And then after that, it was just like, Ma, I'm finna go to work. Whole time, don't be having to go to work. But how I went about doing it was, I would still leave out the house the same time that I was scheduled for any other day. So I was doing all of that, and I thought I would never get caught, honey. Listen, did not get caught, period, okay? I was smooth with it. So yeah, so I started thinking of his house, whatever. We did not do the do immediately, like, we did not do the do immediately. But then that's when after a while, we did the do. So, boom, fast forward to November. So November come up or whatever, my period came on in the middle of November, like November the 16th. I always get my period either in the middle of the month or at the end of the month. So it's like, I had an app that was downloaded and it was called Flow. Flow never steers me wrong. Flow is always right. And if I miss my period one day, the next day it's gonna come on. So I had my period like November 16, whatever, and I don't remember really the dates. I'm just throwing out a date, and then that's when my period ended up being off like November the 20th or whatever. So yes. So I had got my period that month. So after I had got my period that month, me and my boyfriend, we had to do, okay? So that's when December comes. December the 1st, I ain't get my period. I ain't really sleeping because, like I said, my period come on in the middle or at the end. And plus, I just got my period, so why would it come on in December the 1st? You feel me? So I wasn't tripping. And on Flow, it said you can get your period like in the middle of December. So I said, all right, bet, not even tripping or whatever. So that's when it comes up to the time that I need to be having my period, and I didn't have it. So that's when the day that it's supposed to come on, it didn't come on. So I was like, no biggie, it's probably gonna come on tomorrow. So tomorrow come, baby, it ain't come. Like, it ain't come. So I'm just like, okay, what's a day or two late? Like, ain't no biggie. Like, I ain't studying. A day or two late, come on now. Next day. So next day come, didn't come on. I'm like, okay, the next day after that, it's gonna come on. And the only reason why I was like that, like I was feeling like that, like the reason why I kept saying, okay, it's gonna come on next day after that, next day after that, was because I was experiencing period like cramps. Like, it wasn't cramps that was hurting bad, like how period cramps like be. Oh my god, I'm over here stuttering. Okay, so it's not like period cramps like that was hurting like real bad, like how period cramps be. But like I said, it was period like cramps. So I was cramping, but not that painful, you feel me? So I was experiencing all cramps, and at the time I ain't know I was pregnant. I ain't think I was pregnant. That wasn't even thought of. I ain't even put that in my head, none of that. I'm just over here, I'm like, okay, if I'm cramping, it's gonna come on. So at this point, I'm still waiting, and I keep saying, okay, each day that goes by, I keep saying it's gonna come on the next day, it's gonna come on the next day, it's gonna come on the next day. Now, where I started to be like, okay, something ain't right, was December, I want to say the 22nd. It was December the 22nd. So I guess that night I had some kind of dream that made me wake up and was just like, Maya, if you don't go get this pregnancy test right now and go find out what's going on, I promise to you, it's gonna be some trouble up in here, okay? Because I'm not gonna keep worrying myself. I'm not gonna keep being delusional, keep being in denial and be like, okay, it's gonna come on the next day and it don't come on. It don't come on. I'm not gonna keep worrying myself. You feel me? So you need to go find out what's happening, what's going on, and go get this pregnancy test. If it's not this pregnancy test, you need to go to the hospital. Period. That's when I woke up that morning, and I was like when I woke up, I just popped up. Like, so I texted my best friend. I'm just like, best friend, I'm finna go get a pregnancy test or whatever. She was like, she was just like being supportive or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I texted my mom and I was like, I'm finna go to the store, because I didn't want her calling me and be like, where you at, this, that, third. But I didn't want her calling me and be like, where you at, this, that, third. So I'm just like, okay, I'm finna go to the store. I told her either Family Dollar or the beauty supply store, because those two spots I stayed at. Like, those are my second homes. I stay at them. They know my face. They know my name. Okay? So I said something like, I'm gonna go to the store. She was like, all right, just let me know when you're home. So I go to CVS, and as I'm going to CVS, I walk up in there and I'm nervous. Okay? When I tell y'all, on my way to CVS, I was hitting a whole 80 on the 45 road. Baby, I was hitting on a whole 80 on the 45 road. I was not playing, okay? Because I'm just like, I need to go. I need to hurry up and go and find out what's going on. So I get up into CVS and I go in the back and look for a pregnancy test. First of all, this is my first time even going to CVS and looking for a pregnancy test, okay? So I'm over here trying to confuse, like I'm going up and down these aisles looking for these damn pregnancy tests, and I finally found it. When I get to the aisle, it was up in the box and it was locked. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So now I'm just like, okay, so I gotta call an employee over here to get the box unlocked. So I'm just like, oh my god, how embarrassing. So I called somebody and I told them which pregnancy test I want, and they got it and they took it up to the register or whatever. So it was 2 females up on the register. When I tell you she was taking the pregnancy out the box and scanning it and ringing it up and stuff like that, the other girl that was checking somebody else out, she kept staring at me. Homegirl kept staring at me, y'all. I'm like, what is she looking at? Like, what is the problem? Like, come on now. Okay, I'm buying a pregnancy test. I look 14. What? What you gotta say? And when I tell y'all I was getting so nervous, and at the same time I was getting mad too, because Shorty kept looking at me. I'm just like, at this point, I'm finna go outside and I'm finna ask her to come outside with me. We're gonna have to scare up, because ain't no reason or no business that you should be looking at me like this. Like, baby, she was staring at me hard, okay? And that just made me even more nervous. Like, my hands were sweating. My car almost fell on my hand because my hand was just so sweaty. I'm like, damn, this girl don't hurry up and scan my stuff and ring it up, because she was taking forever too. Like, she was taking mad forever. So I'm just like, okay. So I got my stuff. I'm tripping. I ain't paid for card. I paid with money. And my hands are sweating. So yes, that money was turning wet. Okay, baby. At the end of the day, when I give her that money, I bet that shit was Stock. So yes. Anyways, I paid with money because if I paid it with my card, my mom would have saw on my card it said CVS, and she would have been like, okay, it don't add up. You say you was going to the beauty store. What you doing at CVS? Because I have a joint account with my mom. So I didn't want to hear that. So I had like a $20 bill and some change or whatever, and I had to give it to the lady or whatever, because I'm never gonna leave no trace back to me. So yeah, so I get a pregnancy test and I go. And when I tell you I had a whole fucking 80 on that 45 roll back home, baby, I did dash, okay? I was not playing. Yeah, let me just hurry up and go. I don't give a fuck about no cop, no red light, no stop sign, no pedestrians, no dogs, none of that. Get out my way. I get home, walk up to the door, I go straight to the bathroom. And as I'm taking the test, I put it on the counter. Next thing you know, my mom calls me. I'm like, oh, she calls me at the wrong time. So she called me just like, hey girl, what you doing, girl? This and that. They're like over here trying to play around, talk to me. I'm like, baby, this is nothing to be like. I'm not ready to talk to you right now. Listen, I'm over here finna cry. And before I even can be like, nothing, girl. No, I'm like, nothing, girl. And as I'm over the phone talking to her, that line showed up mad fast. Like, that line said, bitch, you are pregnant, okay? You are pregnant. And it said that mad fast and mad quick. I said, oh no, baby, this gotta be a joke. Like, I must have took this wrong. You feel me? I must have took this pregnancy wrong. So I'm over here like, oh my goodness, panicking. My heart dropped to my ass. I'm just like, oh my goodness. So remind you, I was on the phone with my mama. So I'm over here trying to rush her and get her off the phone without her knowing that anything that was going on. So I'm just like, okay. So that phone call ended. Right when it ended, my ass dropped to the floor. Literally dropped to the floor crying, y'all. I was crying. I was in tears. So I went in my room and I was in the closet and I had texted my friend. I texted my best friend. I was like, best friend, I'm pregnant. She was like, oh my God, are you for real? And I said, yes, bitch, I am pregnant. This man impregnated me, y'all. This man impregnated me. Like, what? So I hid the pregnancy test in my closet, in my jean basket or whatever, and I hid that shit. I tucked that shit in. So I got back on my bed and I started crying, and I had text my boyfriend, and I was just like, I'm pregnant. To say that right off, like just like that. Said it just like that. I said, I'm pregnant. And he was at work. He was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. So he was disappointed, but at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, he got to step up and do what a man got to do, and you know, take care of his responsibilities and stuff like that. And I didn't care that he was disappointed, because at the end of the day, like, you have every right to be. But then again, hold on, now I'm thinking about it, bitch. What are you disappointed about? What are you disappointed about? Because, baby, you ain't got no point. Like, you ain't got no reason to be disappointed. You did this to me. You impregnated me. That made me want to go out there and cuss his ass out, because what you mean you disappointed? Like, you knew what you did. You knew exactly what you did. Like, don't even do that. Sometimes I'm disappointed. Nigga, what? I got me mad all over again. So, anyways, so I was just like, at that moment, I was like, okay, he has every right to be, because at the end of the day, who wants to be a father at 19? He was 19, I was 17. I was like, who wants to be a father at 19? Like, come on, I got a whole life I gotta live, you feel me? So, that's when I had to text my sister. My sister wasn't at home. She was at her nigga house or whatever. So, I had text her. I was like, yo, can you come home? She was like, why? And I'm like, girl, it don't matter. I just need to talk to you. Like, come home or whatever. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna be home. She's like, I'm gonna be on the way. Then she texted me 10 minutes later, talking about something. I'm on the way. Girl, wait. When I tell you come home, jump your ass up and come home. Period. Anyways, so while she over on her way to get home or whatever, I'm over here just in my bed crying and looking up how to have abortion. I'm not gonna cap to y'all, I did look that up because at the end of the day, I'm 17. This was not in my plan. This was not written in my plan book. I was not, listen, anybody can tell you that I was not on board with people that's like 17 and pregnant or 16 pregnant. Like people that's young and pregnant, period. I was not like playing like that. I was not like fucking with that. You feel me? So I was like, I never thought something like this could happen to me. I thought I was always gonna be the rich auntie, you feel me? But instead, I gotta be the rich mama. So I'm just like, damn. So I'm just like looking up abortion clinics on how I can get abortion without my mama knowing, this and that third. They tell me something, go to the courthouse, get the little justice sign thing or whatever, and then boom, go to the abortion clinic. I'm like, first of all, I don't even know what no courthouse at. And then who finna do all of that? Like, how am I finna do all that? Like, oh mom, I'm finna go to the courthouse right quick. What? No. And then who's gonna come out the money with it? Like, first of all, abortion is not, it's not free. It's not cheap. It's not none of that. So yeah. So I even called an abortion clinic or whatever, and they even said the same thing too. So I'm just like, yeah. So I had laid down and I waited for her to come or whatever. So my sister comes, she walks to the door. Before she gets downstairs, I hurry up and wipe my tears. So my tears up, got up, and I'm just like, okay, breathe in, breathe out. Let's tell her. So I actually walked in, she see how my face is or whatever, and she like, where's wrong with you? And I'm like, she was like, you pregnant? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I felt like she was just joking. Like, she thought it was gonna be like, she was just saying it as a joke or whatever. But she was like, what? She was like, nah, you playing. Let me see. Like, what's the pregnancy test? She was like, you took pregnancy test? I said, yeah. And she was like, go get it. And I had to give it to her or whatever. So she was like, oh my God, you pregnant. She didn't say like that. But yeah, so she had called her best friend, and her best friend was like, oh my God, Ma, you pregnant, this, that, third. So that's when she called my cousin, my older cousin. We're gonna call her Apple. She called Apple or whatever, and Apple's like much older than us. Like probably like, I don't know how old she is. I'm not gonna guess her age, but she's much older than us. Like much older than us. Like not much, but much older than us. Like yeah. So yeah, so she called Apple or whatever because we like close like with Apple. Like that's our cousin, okay? Period. So she called Apple and she was like, are you around anybody? And she was like, hold up, because the way that you asked me and the way that your tone is, let me get these kids up out of here. Like, oh Lord, what's going on? So that's when my sister was like, no, she was like, somebody pregnant? And that's when my sister was like, yeah. She was like, oh shit, let me guess, it's the baby. And by the baby, she meant me because I'm the baby of my family. Like, not my family, but I'm the baby of my siblings. So she was like, it's the baby. And I said, and she was like, yeah. She was like, oh shit. Because she already know. She was like, she just already know. Like, it's not about she's pregnant. It's not about all shit. Like, she's pregnant. It's like, oh shit. How you gonna tell your mother? Like, that's what it was about. So that's when we was on the phone with her for like a good 2 hours. And we was just talking about how we was gonna go about and tell my mama this and that third. So that's when she was like, we're not gonna tell. That's when we was just like, I'm not gonna tell her tonight. We're gonna tell her tomorrow, so that way, you know, I can calm down, get all my thoughts together, think about what I'm gonna say, this and that third. And yeah. So next day come, which was the 23rd, and my mom got off at 6 o'clock. So before my mom got off, we had called my cousin, whatever, and we was just going back. Like, we was going over on what we're gonna say, because my sister had some news that she was gonna tell my family too. So my cousin was just like, I feel like it's best for y'all to tell y'all family at the same time and also all together, so that way you won't have to tell everybody individually and get all that heat from somebody, like all that heat from everybody individually. And yeah, like you don't want everybody attacking you at different times. You might as well just like everybody attack you at one time and let it be over with or whatever. So I'm just like, okay, that's smart. Like that's smart. Get it over with, tell everybody at the same time. So yeah, so that's when she was like, so y'all gonna put them on 3-way and 4-way and this and that third. So it was like, yeah. So we put 2 people on my phone and 3 people on my sister's phone. So it was like my cousin. Nobody knew that she was on the phone though, because she had herself on mute. So it was my cousin, my brother, and my dad. It was my dad and my cousin on my sister's phone, and then it was my 2 brothers on my phone. So we went upstairs. Well, we let my mama get comfortable first because she just got off of work and she went upstairs to what she gotta do. So we let her get comfortable at first. And when she got comfortable, we went upstairs and we were just like, we got something to tell you. So my sister, she was standing up and she was over there by my mama, by my mama's bed, but not too close to her. I was sitting down in her chair by her computer. So yes. So my mom was eating or whatever. So she was like, oh Lord, what you gotta tell me, this and that third. And mind you, my other family on the phone or whatever. So my sister holding the phones. I'm not holding the phone. I'm just over there just watching or whatever. Okay, I'm phoneless. Okay. So my sister is holding the phones, and she holding the phones like this because so they can hear each other. And, like you feel me? They can hear each other. So anyway, so yeah. So that's when my sister was like, yeah, I might be pregnant, because my sister was like, she might be pregnant. So everyone was like, oh, girl, okay, you grown. Like, you grown at the end of the day. Like, you're grown. It was just like asking her, okay, did you tell your baby father? Like, did you tell the father? Like, there might be your father or whatever. And yeah, this and that third. But at the end of the day, everybody was just like, you're grown. So they ain't caring. So, remind you, the people that's on the phone, okay. So let me just go to the part. So that's when my sister got done on her business, the people that's on the phone, they was like, you know, kind of just like, not really silent, but they was just like, okay, you grown. They was just like repeating it over again. That's when my mom looked at me and she was just like, and what you up here for? And I was like, I'm pregnant too. She was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm like, she said, y'all joking, y'all playing with me. So that's when my brother was like, wait. And that's when, no. My dad was like, wait, what happened? And my brother was just like, Maya said she pregnant. No, he said she pregnant. And my dad was like, who pregnant? And that's when he was like, Michaela pregnant? And that's when he was like, no, Maya said she's pregnant. He was like, oh Lord, whatever. I'm just like, oh my goodness. So that's when my mom was just mad. Like, she put down her food and all. I thought she was gonna get up and hit me, but she didn't. But she was just like so mad, and she was like pissed or whatever. She was just like, she was like, she disappointed, she mad, she upset and everything like that. And I'm just like, she has every right to be, because I'm just like, she has every right to be. I'm not gonna disregard her feelings. I'm not gonna say, oh, you have to be happy for me, or you have to be there for me. You cannot feel disappointed. You have to be happy for me, this and that third. I was not like that. Like, I understood all the feelings that she felt. I understood everything or whatever. So yes, that's when my brothers took it well. I guess it was just like, a baby is a beautiful thing, it's a blessing, and it's that third. And at that time, my brother and his girlfriend, they was pregnant too. So my brother and his girlfriend is pregnant or whatever. I thought he was gonna say something totally different from that. But when he said that, that kind of shocked me, because it's just like, well, I thought you was gonna go off or whatever. Because he had like my father, like he had like him my father. Like, he just so protective. So I thought he was gonna say something different. But when he actually came and said that, I'm just like, kind of made me feel a little better. And my older brother said the same thing too. So I'm like, okay, kind of made me feel a little better too. My dad said he was disappointed, but he's still gonna support me regardless. My brother said the same thing too, whatever, and my mom was just pissed, okay? She was just pissed. So yes, so that conversation ended. I went downstairs, I went to sleep or whatever. My mom ain't talked to me for like a good 2 days. I'm not gonna count y'all. She did not talk to me for like a good 2 days. So one day she called me up in her room and she was just like, you need to set up a meeting with him and his father. So she was like, if you don't set up a meeting with him and his father, something will happen. So that's when I was just like, okay. So I went upstairs and was like, you need to set up a meeting. Like, you need to get your dad and tell your dad, like, my mom wants to talk to me or whatever. So he was like, all right, bet. So the next day I think the weekend comes, my brother and his girlfriend come down here or whatever, and we all go to my boyfriend's house or whatever. So we go to my boyfriend's house, we sat down with his dad, and we talked about it, and his dad said what he had to say, and my mom said what she also had to say. My brother said what he had to say. They asked my boyfriend how he felt about it, and he said he just gotta do what he gotta do, being messed up to his plate or whatever. So yeah, so after that whole conversation that whole conversation went great. Like, everybody just left on a cool note. After we got done with it, I had hugged my boyfriend because, listen, I'm gonna hug my boyfriend, okay? I ain't got time, listen. I don't care if you mad or not, I'm gonna still hug him, okay? So I hugged my boyfriend or whatever, and that's when we had left. And we was in the car, and mom was just like we was just joking around and stuff like that, and mom was just like, you thought that you had to sneak and do what you do, like do what you did, like you thought that I wouldn't like allowing him to come over, whatever. I'm like, yeah. She was like, I would have. I'm like, okay, well, can he come over? Like, can he come over now? And she was like, like, you know, like joking and stuff, and she just like busted out laughing or whatever. So yeah, so that's when she started coming around more. Like, she started coming around more. Me and my boyfriend, we had went out on a date. He would come over, chill or whatever, and that's when he started coming over more and more. And that's when he spent the night turned to 2 nights, night turned to a whole week, then the whole week turned into a whole month, then whole month turned to a whole damn lifetime. Now this nigga staying with me. He's staying with me. So yes, that's how I found out I was pregnant at 17, and that's how I told my mom, my family, my dad, all of that. But yes, when I tell y'all that she has came around like more, she has came around so much more. Like, I can't get this lady off my back. Like, I can't get this lady to stop rubbing my stomach. Like, she always want to rub my stomach, and I'm just like, no. Like, she be trying to touch my stomach or whatever. I'm like, girl. She be calling my baby different types of names, and I'm just like, that's not her name. She bought my baby a stroller. She bought her all the big stuff, like a stroller, car seat, the little rocky thingies, like for her to stand up and stuff like that. She bought her a bunch of stuff, or whatever. And I only know stuff like that because she had to buy 2 because my brother was pregnant too. So yeah, she had to buy 2 of everything. So yes, I already know what she bought because she had to buy them. And when she was buying them stuff, she told me what she bought them, and she was like, I had to double it. So boom. But yes, that is how I found out I was pregnant at 17. If y'all want to ask me any questions, like my symptoms, how I was feeling, any other questions that y'all want me to ask, that y'all want me to answer that I have not answered or whatever, you can comment down below, or you can DM it to me. It doesn't matter. I hope y'all enjoyed this video because I did. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you have not yet, and we out of there.